Hey, welcome, kings and queens. Today we're back in the palace and we're talking love and marriage, Huntsville, in particular, Martell Holt, right before his court appearance, which is scheduled for December 2nd. Okay. According to court documents and also a recent article published on yesterday by Urban Bell magazine, at this point, it's not funny. There's nothing entertaining about it, and something needs to be done. Something needs to be done about it. I'm pausing because when it comes to DV, domestic violence situations, nobody ever thinks the worst. Nobody thinks it would ever happen. Nobody ever thought anybody was capable of it until things do get out of hand. And I don't know if it's fixable at this point because I believe, based on past behaviors, Martell Holt just made success with this ex. I know there's rumors circulating right now. I'm actually recording my take on this because I really wanted to be thoughtful. I really wanted to be thoughtful without ripping him a new one. I really wanted to put some thoughtful content on the table because there are rumors flirting around that it could have been Destiny Payton that tipped him off. And because the seriousness of that accusation, and I have not seen proof of it, I'm gonna hold off on it. I mean, people are saying that allegedly was seen at the courthouse. That would be easy to figure out if her name is on any docket, because if Destiny did that, that is deplorable. You don't play with DV situations. Ask anybody that's lost a loved one to a domestic violence situation. It's not just something that you want to play with and or put yourself in the middle of, because you just don't know what people are capable of until it happens, which is why I would caution any woman, don't be telling these men you gonna leave them and you gonna do this, and you just do it in the interest of your safety and your well-being. Just do it. So I don't know anybody that would get in the middle of this, but somebody did. Somebody did, because Martell knew and he found out that Melody was down there speaking to the DA. Now, I want everybody to pause and keep in mind the reason she was speaking to the DA. The reason is she was subpoenaed. She was subpoenaed by the court to have to come in and participate in his trial. So the only reason she was there is because the court demanded her to be there. And the fact that she was demanded to be there and she walks into the DA office and shortly after she leaves, someone thought it would be cute and nice to give him a heads up when shit could go left real quick, real bad. Yeah, I don't know. At this point, I think something needs and should be done, but let's talk about it. For those of you who are just tuned in or new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics, specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
All right, so last Friday, it appears to be, according to the court. Keep in mind who's bringing these motions forward and who's filing these motions. According to the court, last Friday, Martell Holt has yet again showed his ass, because in the Circuit Court of Madison County, Alabama, the state of Alabama, okay, keep in mind when it comes to DV cases, the state tends to pick up the charges. But the state of Alabama versus Martell Holt, the order reads, and it was filed on November 22nd, 2024 at 3:03 p.m. Here's what it reads. Upon consideration of the motion to amend appeal bond conditions filed by the city of Huntsville, it is ordered as follows. Defendant's appeal bond is amended to include the condition that defendant shall have no contact. And they made sure that they emphasize this in all caps: no contact with the victim herein, either directly or indirectly. That means your mama, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your mistress, your dog, your cat, your messenger. Do not contact by any means, any. That's very polarized whatsoever. The court is aware that a domestic relations case involving the parties remains pending before Honorable Allison Austin. The undersigned will make Judge Austin aware of this order. Listen, what this means is the criminal judge The criminal judge is leading this motion, and the criminal judge is going to reach out to Honorable Allison Austin to say, listen, I know there was some parameters set in the child custody case, but listen, you give a nigga a yard, you give him an inch, he'll take a yard. And right now we have issued a no contact order to Mr. Martell Holt based on his egregious behaviors. I'm just paraphrasing. It's out of control. Y'all, when a criminal case supersedes a child custody or a family case, you know somebody is out of control. Let me continue to read. Then done this the 22nd day of November 2024. Let's see. So we know it was filed then. But then it goes on, motion to revoke bond. Okay, the city of Huntsville, a municipal corporation within the state of Alabama versus Martell Holt defendant. Who's the defendant? Motion to revoke bond. Keep in mind, being filed on the criminal side comes now the city of Huntsville by and through its assistant city attorney and respectfully moves this honorable court to amend the bonds of the defendant stated above in support of said motion. The movant states as follows. Number one, on May 2nd, 2024, defendant stipulated to the facts outlined in the above styled case. Defendant was found to be guilty of harassing communications. So if we go back to May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. No, I'm sorry. May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 6 months later, this man is still harassing this woman. This is six months after he stipulated to the facts outlined in the above style case, okay? He's still harassing this lady. 6 months after May 2nd, but 5 months almost post-divorce. You do the math. Who's the problem? 6 months after being found guilty, let's back it up. Did he not reach out to Tasha K in September? Did he not reach out to the courts in September? Did he not send her, I'm sorry, a million times? I covered that. And one of the things that I covered, what are you sorry for? What's coming down the pipeline? What's coming that she's not aware of? And a lot of people say, oh, you're exaggerating. She's not in any danger. I can't say that, and neither can you. But what I can say is that his behavior seems to indicate that he's not going to stop. Number two, defendant was sentenced to probation and to have no contact with the victim, Melody Rogers, except as outlined in their divorce agreement. Yet here we are. He knows the rules. He knows the stipulations. It's been outlined. It's been reiterated over and over and over again. Yet here we are. Yet again. Number three, after posting his appeal bond, defendant has continuously, this is the wording of the court, y'all. If they're using these words continuously, that means there are facts and there must be proof. Defendant has continuously contacted the victim about matters outside of their divorce agreement. That means he's talking about everything except what he should be talking about. He's utilizing the benefit and the freedom of having access to his children to harass her. Because here's the thing. How come you're not contacting your children directly on their phones? They are of age for you to call them directly, with the exception of Sugar Mama. And I believe you got them all a phone with the exception of her. So how come when they are with their mother, you're not utilizing the phones that you purchased? Them. That's the first thing. And how come you're not allowing their mother to contact them via the phones that you purchased when they're at your home? So what this tells me, you guys, I'm for real, y'all. Now, let me quit playing. Martell is batshit crazy, and I'm concerned. I don't know why he got the phones, and maybe he used them as a means of control. But it sounds like when the kids are at his house, he's not allowing them. If I can read between the lines of this document, he may not be allowing them to use the phones to contact their mother. So therefore, she has to go through him. Okay. And that very well may be the portal that he's using for further communication harassment. And it also sounds like on the flip side of it, when they're back at home with their mother, he's keeping the phones so that he can communicate directly with her as opposed to directly with his children. Now, Melody has never, to my knowledge, based on her public statements and his public statements, and also the documents of the court, she's never tried to prohibit his access to his children. She's just tried to prohibit his access to her directly. And it sounds like those phones, he's using them as a means of manipulation. Let me go to the next bullet point. Number 4, the victim met with the undersigned. That means the victim met with the DA's office on this date to discuss our upcoming trial after the victim left my office. This is the DA writing in the first person. After the victim left my office, defendant contacted her demanding to know why she was here. The victim feels threatened and in fear of her safety now that she is possibly being watched by defendant or someone close to the defendant, and she has every right to. If you leave a courthouse for a criminal case that you've been subpoenaed to, first of all, most people don't want to be involved. Most people don't want to be involved, to be honest with you. Most people have better things to do with their time than to sit up at a courthouse. Most people. I can't speak for all. And you go forcibly because you have been mandated by the court to show up. And you leave and you get harassing communications, a phone call. Let me go back and read this. The victim, hold on, let me go back. Defendant contacted her after the victim left my office. Defendant contacted her demanding to know why she was here. So I'm going to assume he sent a text message because that could, see, the court cannot go on hearsay. Melody can't call to say, hey, there would have to be some type of factual something, proof that they would have received. So I'm going to assume that he texted her to let her know, I know you're there. I know what you did last summer. And the crazy part is, sir, the DA mandated that she comes there. I wouldn't feel safe either. I wouldn't feel safe either because why is it that you're making me come to this courthouse under your authority and I'm leaving and you got somebody tipping this guy off that could set him off, right? Let's just say, I'm going to assume it's somebody in the courthouse. Okay. What I want to know is what due diligence has the court done to identify who the mole or the leak could be? Is it somebody working directly in the DA's office, or is it a person that just working in any office, in any business unit in the court? And if so, I would not, as a woman, feel safe in that courthouse. Because how do I not know? Shit, as soon as I walk out, he's texting and calling me. The next time he may pull up. I'm talking about the DV of it all, y'all. No matter how you feel about somebody, the DV of it all. It's gone too far. But who would risk their job to tip him off about his ex-wife being in the courthouse that he would demand to know, what are you talking to them about? And that he would take a risk so big knowing that he has a court case coming up December 2nd. I want you to pause and think about this. Who, man or woman, in their right mind would stick their neck out like that and have the audacity to confront a quote unquote victim about this? This sounds like some street shit, but who would confront a victim when they know they have a court case, a criminal court case coming up? Who in their right mind would do that? I don't know anybody, man or woman, in their right mind that would rock the boat, that would have the audacity. That's narcissistic behavior to me. To think that you can approach a victim, which has to be intimidating in some way, right? Now, let's just say it wasn't somebody in the courthouse, and I know there's rumors and people are saying right now, oh, it's what's her name? It's Destiny. I don't know, because that's a huge accusation. Now, I'm not a Destiny fan. I'm not a big fan of Destiny's behavior and or her attitude. But I'm gonna pause before I put that on her, because you don't play with DV. You don't play with that kind of thing. So I don't know if that's hearsay or if anybody has actually seen the court documents that would place her in that courthouse at the same time that Melody was there. Let's just eliminate the person working in the court, right? Let's just say I'm completely wrong on my assumption, because we don't know who. We know somebody, we just don't know who. Let's eliminate and say, well, maybe it wasn't somebody in the court. Then how would he know? The only thing that I could think of is if he has some type of tracking device, okay, on her car, on her phone, something where he can hear her, see her, track her. Either way, it's harassment and tracking, no matter how he got the information, whether he got it from a live, real person that works in a courthouse, or even if it's alleged a cast member and his friend. The point is, who does that when you're on the verge of about to go to jail? And at this point, throw him in jail. I'm tired. Throw him in jail. This is not going to stop. This is not going to stop. I believe Martell Holt may have some serious mental health issues that need to be addressed. If I was, let me back up. Do y'all not remember a while back when Martell and Sheree were filming in Atlanta? And I guess Ariana must have got pissed off about him being away. No, they went to Sonia Richards' birthday bash, her husband's birthday bash. And when he was done doing what he did, he came back and harassed her. Yeah, they're lovey-dovey now. It's all good now. But when he was done laying up with another woman, he came back and harassed her. And she placed it on her Instagram story. And she said she was hiding in the house, going from window to window, peeking to see where he was positioned around her home. And she hurried up and placed her child outside and locked the door. To me, that was telling. I don't think anybody's safe with Martell that goes against him. That's it. That's all. But I think his ass needs to be sat down for a long time. I think he needs a little bit of jail time. And then and only then. I don't even know if that'll be enough. Because I feel like Martell has justified each and every action in his head. I think he thinks he's right. He has done no wrong. And I think he thinks he's God at this point. Number 5, based on the repeated behavior of the defendant, the city requests this honorable court to amend the defendant's appeal bond and conditions of release to reflect that he is to have no contact, direct or indirect, with the victim for any reason other than child custody issues. I don't think that's good enough at this point. I think at this point, go ahead and take it serious. Didn't they say he pulled a pow pow on her before? Is that hearsay? Didn't y'all say he pulled a pow pow on her before? I don't know. I'm over it. I don't think it's going to stop. It's not cute. It's close to the holidays. It's real heavy. He's digging his own hole, but he doesn't seem like a person that would go down alone. As you can see for the coming up episode on Love and Marriage Huntsville, he's trying to indirectly air out Marcel and Letitia and all of that. But my thing is, y'all did it together. Whatever y'all did, all of y'all. He's not the type that's going to go down quietly, nor will he go down alone. Childlike behavior, little boy behavior. Can't take that L. Can't take that L. Not accustomed to losing, so I'm going to force my way in one way or the other. At this point, what are your thoughts regarding Martell Holt violating the no contact order ahead of his domestic violence court date? That's a dumb move. To me, that's a dumb move on his part. But y'all, I'm over it. Let's take it to the chat.